Hello again. Well, you are in for something of a treat today. One aspect of my psychological makeup is what I think of as borderline bipolar, manic depressive, and I'm feeling a little bit in the manic side at the moment, and so I am going to indulge it. I have a few things on my mind that I'm feeling prompted to cover, so I'm just going to cover all of them. I'm going to break it down, not do it all in one extended video, so I'll start where I have been feeling prompted to start. The one other moment in my life when after I had turned to Jesus for help with just everything and had invested, excuse me, no small amount of time and effort and energy and been completely candid and raw and transparent when it comes to the concerns in my life I wanted his help with, and things just didn't seem to be working out the way I had hoped and intended and been promised. I actually did a Google search, what to do after Jesus isn't the answer. To me, once you have turned to Jesus and have done the due diligence that I have done, there's really no turning back. If he's not the answer, there really isn't a plan B. And so I Googled it, and as I recall, the very first thing that came up was the website of a guy by the name of Worthington. That's not Hal, it's Hall, Hall. And if any of you are interested enough to go looking for it, you can find it. I've not spent any time on it for the longest time, but I did go to check just yesterday to make sure it was still an active website, and it still is. So if you're interested, you can find it and see what there is there. To me, it was a very extremely informative and insightful website. Hall has a pretty interesting story to tell. He's told it on his website, so I'll leave that to him. But his journey led him to doing a lot of very in-depth research into the Quakers of the 16, 17, 1800s, and they were really the real deal when it comes to putting into practice what Jesus taught and experiencing the results that he promised to his followers, mainly via the writings and experience of a guy by the name of George Fox, and carrying forward into William Penn, after who the state of Pennsylvania is named, and that whole community and their experience. And really what interested me and appealed to me was that it was very much a guide into applied, I think kind of conditioned it to say Christianity, but to me, Christianity is a very, it's a misnomer. It really is being a follower of Jesus, but his website really is all about applying the teachings of Jesus and experiencing what he promised his followers. Specifically, you will do the same things I have done and even greater things, which is pretty hard to get your mind around, at least for me. Jesus telling his followers that they're going to do greater things than even he has done, when he has healed the sick and raised the dead and turned water into wine and come back from the dead. And he's telling his followers that, we're going to do greater things than he did. But at any rate, George Fox and his, I want to say, maybe not followers, but disciples, adherents, they really did live it. And Hall's website goes into excruciating detail. I'm going to say if there's one shortcoming to his website that I would assert, it's that there's so much material there, and it's broken down somewhat, but a lot of his pages just go on and on and on, and it's really a challenge to digest it all. But the long and the short of it is that it really is a how-to guide. Some of the specific practices that especially George Fox himself engaged in and translated into success when it comes to applying the teachings of Jesus and achieving the results that he promised to those that did so. And so that is something that has just been on my mind as I've been, thinking about creating this channel and creating content for it. And so today is the day that I create that episode. So there that is.